Hey everyone, and welcome to Offside with Mac and Wood. I'm one of your co-hosts, Mac.
And I'm your other co-host, Wood.
Today, we got a couple of things to talk about. We do want to talk about the direction of the show, but first we're going to give you our actual show, so stay tuned for the end. Our first topic of discussion is the trade between the Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings today. I guess, Wood, you should talk about it since it's kind of affecting your team a little more so than mine, obviously, in this case.
Yeah, so last night an unexpected trade happened. I didn't see this one coming, although I was really hoping it was going to happen. Not necessarily for this player, but the Oilers needed to get rid of UC Jokinen. They tried him out, brought him in for cheap. I think it was $1 million for a year. He wasn't doing much, wasn't pulling his weight. He's getting old, so it was time for him to go. Luckily for the Oilers, I guess the LA Kings, I'm not sure what they're thinking on this one. They're playing pretty strong hockey. They didn't really need to add anybody. In fact, they added somebody worse than they lost. I think the Oilers won this trade 100%. They added veteran Mike Camilleri. Camilleri's got 7 points in 14 games, and Jokinen had 1 point in however many games he played. So I think it's a good trade for the Oilers.
Yeah, get some of that skill added to the lineup too. They need some scoring, so I think Himley's going to help. Especially he's getting up there in age, but he's still producing a point every 2 games, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Can't complain with that.
And he put him on. They're gonna probably put him on a line with either McDavid or Draisaitl. This will allow them to finally break McDavid and Draisaitl up to have 2 strong, competent lines.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with the trade. I think the Oilers made out good on this one.
Yeah, I would agree too. I think they kind of won that one. Who knows what LA is thinking? I feel like they always like that gritty style, so maybe that's why they wanted Jokinen. He's more of a two-way guy, likes to play a little more defensively. So I think it was maybe a good swap for both sides. But yeah, I think Oilers at the end of the day did win the trade there.
Only time will tell, right?
So yeah,
we'll
see the
wait and see.
Season.
I'm hoping Camilleri gets in the lineup tomorrow for the game against St. Louis, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, well, I guess one thing I wanted to mention too, Matthews was practicing, so it's a good sign. I think he's going to be back in the lineup for Thursday. I think they were just kind of giving him a little bit of a rest, giving him 10 days off, letting him, especially since he's their superstar, right? They don't want to risk him and have him get a bigger injury. So good news there. Our next topic, I guess, Woody, do you want to start off with this one too? Since this is another, I guess, going regarding Vegas and getting completely off by the Oilers as well.
So the Oilers haven't been having the greatest time on offense. They've been struggling lately. But last night the Vegas Golden Knights visited Rogers Place for their first time and got absolutely thumped.
Yeah.
And I mean thumped. Edmonton put in 8 goals. I mean, it was against their 4th string goalie, but hey, up until then he had a 2-4-1 record. He was looking all right. Vegas was doing pretty good, but then, just like I said, they weren't going to be able to stop the high-flying offense of McDavid and Draisaitl. And I called last night 4 points for McDavid, 3 points for Draisaitl, and a 6-2 win. I was close, 8-2 win, 3 points for McDavid, 3 points for Draisaitl. You had the 4th line chipping in for a couple goals with Kara getting a goal and an assist, and it's nice to see other guys finally starting to show some offense out there. Nuge looked good again last night. Puljujarvi looked good again. Lucic, he's a beauty. As much as I hated the guy before he came to the Oilers, he's definitely starting to turn my image of him around, so that's good.
Yeah.
But for all in all, I was happy with the performance they gave last night. Unfortunately for Vegas, you had to take an ass kicking for the Oilers to get their shit together, but hey, I'm not a Vegas fan, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and I mean, I had a feeling once they had these goalie troubles, those losses were going to start catching up with them. It's like you can't really keep that winning pace that they had at the beginning of the season when you don't got a competent goalie in net that can keep up with the speed of the game. I mean, these guys that they're bringing in, they're trying as hard as they can. I don't discredit them for that, but at the same time, they're not ready for the big show yet. You just need the reflex on the goalie. They need time to develop. They need a starter. They need Fleury back.
And unfortunately for them, it looks like Legacy went down with an injury last night. So young 19-year-old Dylan Ferguson from I think he plays for Kamloops. Had to step in with 7 minutes to go, and he only gave up 1 goal, which I mean no goalie in the league would have stopped that play. It was a nice pass into Cassian in the slot on the power play, and just a quick spin past the Letestu back door, wide open net. Like I don't even think Fleury would have stopped that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, the thing too is like, even though he only got 7 minutes, imagine being able to go home and brag like, "Hey, I got to play against like Connor McDavid and Milan
well,
Lucic and all these guys."
Connor McDavid put a smile on my face. There was a play last night where Maroon was going to the net. He got bumped, and he ran into Ferguson. Obviously the refs are going to call it goaltender interference, and McDavid skates up, gives the kid a pat on the shin or on the pads, and says, "Good job, kid." And you know, McDavid only being 20, a lot of guys see him as a leader in the league and someone a lot of guys look up to. So
Oh yeah.
the kid admitted that he was a little starstruck when McDavid did that to him. So good on McDavid for doing that for the kid.
Yeah, give him a little bit of like positive reinforcement, especially now since he might be their go-to goalie for the
Exactly.
next bit. He needs that confidence,
The
right?
kid could be stepping in some pretty big shoes right now. It's unfortunate for Vegas. They started off so hot. Fleury looking good. I was
Yeah.
feeling good for Fleury. He deserves a starting role, and
Yeah.
it's shitty for him that Matt Murray stepped in and was playing so good. And unfortunately for the expansion draft, you have to expose a goalie, and Fleury was the one they had to let go.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny enough too. Murray's not doing so hot right now with Pittsburgh this year. I mean, I guess again we'll see if he picks it up, but he's a young guy. Maybe he's just on a bit of a cold streak. But interesting move. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Fleury might have got injured with Pittsburgh as well, so
You never know, right?
yeah, it might have not made a difference who they decided to keep. I think it was a good choice they kept Murray, but hopefully he does pick it up. If he keeps this pace, then they're going to look a little foolish.
Pittsburgh's having a bit of a rough start with Crosby. Crosby's not looking too hot right now.
Yeah, well, he did get that OT assist last night.
That was a nice play. That was a nice goal.
Yeah, so he's trying back. I said actually in one of my videos earlier this week that I thought he was going to come out of his slump. So hopefully this is a sign that he's going to start pulling out of that. Because I mean, Sidney Crosby, he's going to put up like good numbers this year. It's just a matter of time. But it always sucks seeing a guy like that like have a kind of cold patch where he's just not potting anything.
Yeah, he normally starts a little soft throughout to begin, and then he battles back.
He's got that Stanley Cup hangover, right? He's an older guy now. He's 30 years old. He's
getting up there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the same young punk he was 10 years ago,
No,
crying about the league.
Yeah, exactly. He's grown a little more in his time, so
yeah.
I mean, just give him time. He's got to get the joints and the limbs loose. So we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, McDavid's still gonna win the scoring race, though. There's no doubt about that one.
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time for him too. That's the thing. I know he was like doing a little so-so at the beginning of the year, but I mean, again, it seems like just at the beginning of the season, there's a lot of guys you expected to be big and hot at the beginning of the season, and they're just a little slow right now.
He just took that $100 million contract, contract, right? So he's got a lot of pressure on him to fill those shoes. Being the highest paid player in the NHL now, he's got to step up. Him and Draisaitl both. They're making, what is it, 21 between the two of them? I think it is.
Yeah, they're making a good hefty load.
So they like I said in my other video, give them some time. But unfortunately for them, now that they took on those big contracts, they don't really have much time to
exactly. They're basically supposed to be proving themselves right now and showing that they earned that money. So
well, lucky for McDavid, he's still on his entry level contract, so there's not too much pressure on him yet. But Draisaitl's making 8.5 this year, so Draisaitl should be leading the way.
Again, I think they're going to put up great numbers and play pretty well this year. I mean, they made it pretty far in the playoffs last year. They do have a bit of a ways to go to get back to that spot, but again, it's only like 20 games into the season. They got a ton of time to pick it up and get back in that race. It's really anyone's game at this point. I mean, even last year there was teams that were first place and they dropped down to the league like
Stanley Cup's not won in November.
Yeah, exactly.
Stanley Cup's won in June.
Best thing you can say there.
So 6-7 months still before the cup gets raised. So.
And even when you make it, you're not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to win there. You gotta get through all those.
Look at Nashville last year, made it to the Cup final as a wild card team. Who would have thought that was coming? Sweeping Chicago in the first round. Nobody thought that was gonna happen.
I think Nashville's gonna be pretty hard this year to play against.
Adding Kyle Turris, I think that was a huge pickup for them.
Yeah, they really needed it. Now they have that depth down the center. Because I mean, Johansson, he got injured basically last playoff, so they were out with their first line center. they needed it. If they had Turris, he could have picked up that spot, picked up the slack, but they didn't have anyone to go to at that point in time. Like
Yeah.
being in the Stanley Cup Finals without your number one guy, it's a bit of a hard hit to take. So I think this year, just in case that does happen, hopefully it doesn't for their sake, but they do have something like that happen now. They got two guys that can play the first line if they need.
All right. So now that we're about a month and a bit into beginning of the year, what are your first impressions of the first month?
Well, obviously Tampa's coming out very strong. Just absolutely destructive. I think they only have like 2 losses right now.
They're looking good.
They're looking really good.
That
Stamkos,
top
31
line.
points.
Oh my.
Kucherov, 30 points. Yeah, they're just absolutely filthy. They're coming out hard. I mean, it was to be expected. I mean, last year when they had Stamkos out with an injury, Kucherov was still lighting it up. He almost led the Tampa Bay team to a playoff berth again, just like single-handedly, right? So
Stamkos has a lot to prove. You know, he's been hurt the last couple seasons.
yeah,
A couple season enders. He's been having a rough go of it, and he just got that huge contract not too long ago, didn't he?
right.
So he's got a lot to prove. So and right now he's proven that he deserved that.
This is
contract.
the year. And the thing too is I know like Stamkos resigned because he believed in this team. Like obviously being a Leafs fan, I heard about all the rumors with Stamkos coming from Toronto and stuff. And you know, as nice as the idea was, this is the era that players like that just don't leave their teams. Like those are career players who, you know, they're gonna stay with their franchise team like the whole time. Like they got drafted first, second, third overall. They're basically sticking with the team. Even coming up with John Tavares, I doubt that he's gonna go anywhere.
I can see him leaving the Islanders.
It's possible that he could because
They're not bringing anybody in for him. They're moving guys.
I don't know. He seems like a loyal guy, so I feel like he might stay, unless maybe a team gives him like a really good impression.
He's a Canadian kid though, and Canadian kids' number one goal is to win that cup. So if he's gonna stay with the Islanders, they're gonna have to bring some guys in to help him.
Yeah,
get
they're
to
gonna have
that
to do
cup,
something, right?
or he's gonna go.
But yeah. Anyway, I guess back to the topic on hand. Tampa's been absolutely destructive.
The Devils. How about the Devils? Finally, not playing the trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally,
look what
getting
it's doing
some
for
offense.
Them. Look what it's doing for him
with a forecheck. Oh my God! I used to hate watching the Devils play. So boring. Watching them sit in the neutral zone waiting for teams to break out. No, not this year. They got all these young, fast kids, and Taylor Hall on the wing. They're finally playing offensive hockey, and it's working for them. They're starting to win games, and they're looking good.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like for a franchise like that making a change, they probably felt the risk to it. But when you got all those young, quick guys, like that's not a style of play you want to play with them. Like you actually want to abuse their speed. So when you draft a team like that, you've got to make that change. So maybe it was intentional, maybe not, but I think it was a good choice for them to do it this season.
Yeah, it was. I don't think many thought that young guy. What's his name? 63.
I'm not sure.
European,
I don't know the whole roster.
He's a European kid, and he was picked up by London in the European draft, and he showed up to New Jersey training camp with London gear on because London obviously didn't think he was going to be playing for the Devils this year.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, this kid's lighting up the league, looking fantastic out there, and I don't think he's going back to London anytime soon.
Well, yeah, sometimes you get surprise players like that. I mean, even if like New Jersey's, they got some good draft picks in the last few years, and getting guys like that added to the team just out of the blue, those are nice pickups that are going to help your team like just get that much extra boost to your rebuild. So it's interesting seeing New Jersey come out this year. Like when I watched them play the Leafs earlier in the season, I didn't think much was going to happen. I thought the Leafs pretty much had the game in the bag because they were doing so hot at the beginning of the year. I wasn't really paying much attention to New Jersey, and they came along and thrashed us. They played a way better game. They were so much faster. I was like, I was really impressed, and I was like, where the hell did this New Jersey team come from? And it was just these silent draft picks they've been picking up over the years, like, and slowly developing. Like they're just like they're an off the radar team no one was paying attention to, and now they're ready to show the world that they're back. New Jersey's back, and they're
some of the greatest players in hockey were late draft picks like. Datsyuk going in the 7th round, probably had some of the best hands ever in the NHL. Like Hasek went late, like all these.
Yeah, Jamie Benn, 5th round pick. Look at him now; he's like the best player on the Dallas Stars.
Martin St. Louis went undrafted, and look at him.
Yeah, exactly. He was like just like this guy you're saying who tried out for New Jersey. He tried out for Tampa Bay. They liked him. They picked him up, and he's like one of the best players, like Hockey Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
right now. He's a legend. So sometimes you have those little guys that just pop out of nowhere too.
Sometimes, when you're out there you're thinking about drafting a kid, draft a kid. Fuck it. What's the worst case that happens? You
Go with
wasted
your
a
gut.
7th round pick. And turns out he's a gem, and well, then guess what? You just drafted a gem with the 7th round pick, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
sometimes go
Diamond in
with
the
your
rough.
gut.
No one even had an idea, a
Exactly.
sleeper pick, right?
Exactly.
Another team we got to talk about is Arizona with their horrible start of the season.
Holy fuck!
Not one regulation win in 20
when are they?
games.
When
Oh
are they
my
coming to
god.
Canada already? Like
Jesus,
they should be the
Murphy.
Quebec Nordiques in like the next 2 years. Like
I
they're just
know.
an absolute joke in the desert.
The thing is, like, they have some decent guys on their team, but it's like they just don't mesh together at all.
Domi's a gem. I love that kid.
Yeah,
Last year
he's
when he
good.
knocked Kessler out, greatest thing I've ever seen. Because I hate Kessler. Ryan Kessler is the biggest piece of shit ever.
Oh yeah, he's
and
a
when
big
Domi
dude.
knocked him out with that uppercut, oh my god, it was fantastic.
He takes after his dad, that's for sure. But the thing that he's also even added is that scoring ability, the passing ability. He's got the skill to play now, and like then they also got guys like Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Like
he's his dad if his dad could have played hockey.
Yeah, if his dad could have played hockey, that's Max Domi. So I mean, I guess he learned the other side of the game while his dad was kicking the shit out of people for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
But seriously, they're the first team in NHL history to ever go the first 20 games without winning one game in regulation.
Yeah,
that is an absolute embarrassment. They're 2-15-3, both their wins coming in overtime. What are you doing down there?
Yeah, and the thing too is they've been a team that have been bottom dwellers for years and years, and you would have expected with the young guys that they've added and like the draft picks that they've had that they'd be in a better position by this point. But it's like they've literally had no progress. If anything, I feel like they're like this is like the worst year, obviously, they have in recent memory. Like, and I thought they were garbage for a long time.
I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when they traded Mike Smith. I don't care what you're doing. Your goaltending situation was decent. Mike Smith's a very strong goalie. And then you bring in these jokes. Who are their goalies now? Antti Ranta.
Yeah, Ranta and some other.
What did you think? You're going to get a Cam Talbot situation, steal New Jersey or the Rangers' backup goalie and have a stud? No, yeah. Ranta was terrible. He is terrible. And then I think they just traded Louis Domingue away. Like, Arizona, like, fold already. I thought Vegas was going to be the team in the desert struggling, but no, it's fucking Arizona. Like, it's just an absolute joke.
Well, and even like for years they were rumored, like when they were in Phoenix, they were supposed to be getting moved to like Hamilton, and then they were talking about moving to Quebec, and then I heard something about Seattle back then. Like there was a time that Phoenix was supposed to be moving to a completely different location, and then they just moved it to new like ownership to Arizona. So it was like you literally did nothing to change it. It's in the same spot, like you. So yeah, it's time to move. It's time to bring that franchise somewhere else. Like. I mean, I know people will claim I see people online who are like, oh well, there's Canadians who are like living in Arizona, and oh Austin Matthews is from Arizona, shit like that. It's like it's still not a hockey community. Like there's so many other cities even locally from around where we live in the Greater Toronto area that would have that franchise, and I bet you it would be packed house every time people came into play.
And the fucking shit that they pulled at the beginning or the end of the last season with Shane Doan is an absolute fucking joke. Buddy had been with that organization longer than they've been the Coyotes. And for them to just release him like that is an absolute disgusting joke.
Yeah.
Shane Doan was the Coyotes. He was the original Winnipeg Jets. And for them just to release them, I'm glad Arizona's struggling like this.
Exactly, that's karma for you, right? Like that's karma for you. Like they fucking bullshit like that, and this is what happens. So hockey guys are basically coming down and saying "fuck you," and
exactly.
Hopefully, Bettman, the asshole that he is, fucking realizes.
Time to realize money's not everything.
Yeah, exactly. And this team isn't even fucking making any money for the past years. They've been in deficits.
They bring back the Quebec-Montreal rivalry. They'll make so much more money than what Arizona will make.
I don't understand why. Are they doing any marketing research? Are they trying to figure out where a better locale would be, or do they have proof that this is the best spot for it? I seriously doubt that Arizona is a good location for an NHL team at this point in time. After seeing what's occurred with them, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, this is enough of us talking about hockey for this one. Now on to talking about what we're planning to do with the show in the next 3, 6, and hopefully in a year time.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't gotten a lot of subscribers or a lot of Facebook likes. I feel like some of you guys are, a little hesitant, a little worried. Like, you guys are going to waste your time watching these videos. You're going to waste your time subscribing, and then all of a sudden we're going to stop. Well, I just want to let you guys know that that's not our plan. We plan on doing this for a very long time. It's something that we're very passionate about. We've both been looking to do this for a while,
Yeah.
So I just want you guys to know, like, don't be afraid. We will be around for a while. We plan on getting better. We plan on having better quality videos.
This is what we're passionate about. Like, I've wanted to do something like this for a number of years actually, and I've always been hesitant to do it. Just more of like, the fear of like going online, I guess, and presenting yourself, or even like I wasn't sure how to start. And now that we're kind of here, it's fun to do. I'm really enjoying it, and we're in it just to like do it for like doing it. Like, we just want to have fun and actually talk to people and kind of like do the videos just because we actually want to do it. And that's like pretty much the pure, sincere reality of it. Is like we just want to be here, we want to do this, and we plan to do this. Like, we actually just made a 1 year plan for this channel, and we're continuing to work towards some goals that we've set for ourselves. So we're going to continually be working to make this program even better for you guys, and we do need you guys to help us on that too. Like, sometimes we need our community to suggest things or tell us what we're doing wrong, or like even what they would like to see too. So I mean, if you're seeing a stagger here and there, like, don't fret. We're gonna obviously, like, we see mistakes that we're making, like even currently, but at the same time, we feel like every day we're getting better and better. Like, I personally feel like I'm just learning so much more in like the past few days, just like learning how to use certain programs, or even like posting videos and making them. Like, I've noticed mistakes that I've made or things that I didn't like with some of the content that I've already put out, and I already have plans on improving that going forward. So both of us are really excited to actually just be doing this and making this content for you guys. So we really are excited to have you guys join this journey with us, and so we can present everything that we're going to be doing. And I think it's going to be a wild ride for all of us to be participating in this.
Hey, and if you guys, want to make a comment, or you don't like something we said, or you want us to talk about something, don't be afraid to drop a comment. Message one of us.
Yeah, talk to us. Like, we're trying to be more involved with this program, and we want our community to be more involved with us. Like, this
Yeah.
is the kind of what we were hoping for the channel. This was, again, one of our goals, is to create a hockey community where just like everyday normal people can kind of talk about hockey and have like a real-time discussion about it, instead of just like watching the professional sports commentators talk about it, which, like, it can be fine and all, but it's like, don't you guys want to talk about hockey? Like, I certainly do. Hence why I'm doing it. So, well, if I watch those guys, I get their opinions, I hear about it. I still want to discuss what I'm thinking about it. So hopefully you guys have that same thought, and you can share those ideas with us, and we can all kind of communicate together. But yeah, we just want to use this video platform to present our ideas and then interact with all you guys. So definitely join us on that, and do what we did. Don't be afraid to step outside the box, talk to us, and present yourselves as you like. Like, we want to be involved in talking to you guys.
Exactly. So anyway, guys, I know this was a long video, but we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys again for liking, sharing, subscribing, all that.
Please do that for this one video too, if you can.
Please continue to share our stuff. Please continue to get your friends, your family members, local businesses, whatever. Get them to like our page. Get them to follow, right? Guys, I really appreciate everything so far. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Wood.
I'm Mac. And I just want to say too, if you actually like the format of this video, let us know if you like the length of it. We're trying to find a good length for you guys for video taking. So if you like what we did here, let us know, and we'll try to keep them coming. Thanks, guys.
We're Offside with Mac and Wood. You guys have a beautiful day.
Peace.